The princess was reborn on the day of choosing her husband. This time she abandoned the man she once loved deeply. Instead, she chose her greatest enemy. The reason she did so was because on their wedding night in her past life the man stabbed her with a dagger, blaming her for ruining his love with another woman. Only then did she realize her husband had always loved her cousin. Her father, the emperor, was also dragged down and killed. Thus she died with hatred in her heart. Perhaps even the heavens pitied her fate. When she opened her eyes, she was back to the day of choosing a husband. The emperor knew she had admired the cunning man since childhood, so he simply made the choice for her. But she quickly stopped him and chose another instead. When she took the portrait and studied it, she saw she had chosen her former enemy. Yet memories of their time together felt unexpectedly warm and joyful. Since she had a second chance, she would take a different path. After the choice, she walked out of the hall. Everyone waited for her to announce the final groom. She looked toward the cunning man, who was full of confidence, believing she would choose him. But if the result was not him, what expression would he show? So she decided to announce it 7 days later. At that moment, the scheming woman walked over. She purposely bumped into the princess while pretending to be the victim. The man rushed forward to comfort her. The princess remembered how many times in her past life she was framed by this woman, and was finally accused of bullying others. This time she would take revenge. She pushed the woman down, then kicked her off the steps. The scoundrel immediately defended the woman, but the princess showed no mercy. She reminded him not to forget his place. As a husband raised in her house, he should put the princess first. Now he panicked for a concubine born of a servant, who was truly more shameful. Knowing he was in the wrong, he left with the woman. The onlookers were shocked. The princess had always put the man above all else. Today she seemed like a different person. Unexpectedly, the princess turned to her old enemy, breaking their usual hostility. She told him to be present in 7 days. The man thought she would never choose him, so he planned to travel south for a few days. Before leaving, he promised to bring her a wedding gift. This reminded the princess, since there would be a wedding, she needed a token of love. The next day she went to the treasure pavilion. Her eyes fell on a dragon and phoenix jade pendant, a priceless pair. She decided to buy it at once, but then the scoundrel and the scheming woman entered. They also wanted the same jade pendant. When the princess turned around, the man finally saw her. He immediately accused her of following him. She quickly explained she had arrived first, but he claimed she often spied on him. The princess recalled her past life, how she had secretly watched him practice swordplay and quietly read with him. But in this life she would not repeat that mistake, so she grabbed the jade and went to pay. The scheming woman pretended to be pitiful, saying the princess had seen all treasures, but she wanted only this jade pendant. The scoundrel insisted on buying it for her. The princess replied she could give it up, but questioned whether he could afford such a price. He dismissed it as a trifle, and ordered a servant to fetch the money. But after the time of 1 incense stick, the servant returned ashamed, admitting there was no money in the house. The scoundrel was dumbfounded. The princess knew well his family was empty and broke. In her past life he lived well only because she secretly supported him. This time she would never fund his woman, so she took the jade and left. Back home, the cunning man was scolded by his father. He learned that because he always protected the scheming woman, the princess had cut off her support to the family, so for the sake of everyone they could not oppose her anymore. Just then a servant rushed in, reporting the woman had fallen gravely ill. When he arrived, he was told she was poisoned with